Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Good evening, you're watching the news on the Sultanate of Oman television. First, the headlines. His Excellency the Minister responsible for Foreign Affairs discusses the latest developments in the region with the United Nations envoy to Syria. Decisions are issued to determine Eid al-Adha leave for public and private sectors. And the tender board awards a host of development projects worth more than 10 million Omani riyals. Good evening once again, and thank you for joining us. Those were the headlines, and now the news in detail. His Majesty Sultan Qaboos has sent a cabal of greetings to His Excellency President Enrique Pena Nieto of Mexico on his country's independence anniversary. His Excellency Yusuf bin Alawi bin Abdullah, Minister responsible for Foreign Affairs, discussed with the United Nations envoy to Syria, Stefan de Mistura, who is on a current visit to the Sultanate, latest developments in the region. His Excellency, the Minister responsible for Foreign Affairs, reviewed with the United Nations envoy to Syria a solution plan for the political crisis in Syria and ways to arrange a political agreement with the participation of active regional and international powers in Syria. In this regard, Stefan de Mistura, the United Nations envoy to Syria, had this to say.
What we discussed, of course, was the issue of Syria and how to facilitate and promote a political solution. I got very good advices. I've been able to discuss and brief about where we stand with the UN proposals, and I feel very comfortable about the type of advice that I'm getting. What we discussed with the Secretary General of the Arab League was how to make sure that this very long conflict of 5 years now can be brought to a political solution, and that the opportunity of the General Assembly, which is taking place now in the few days, where so many heads of states will be present, will be quite an occasion not to be missed in order to make sure that there is a genuine discussion about how to end the conflict. The refugee crisis is a very big reminder, and the tendency of looking at it from a military point of view is also a reminder. The issue about terrorism is a clearly important one for everyone. Every country in the region and beyond is worried about terrorism because Daesh and Al-Nusra, which are the two organizations which have been identified by the UN, are concerning everyone, from Russia to Iran, from Iran to Saudi Arabia, to the US, to Turkey, everywhere. At the same time, there is a clear feeling that in order to effectively contain and defeat terrorism, there is a need for a political solution. Everything started with a conflict, in a way, inside Syria, which needs to be addressed politically.
His Excellency Sayyid Khalid bin Hilal al-Busaidi, Minister of the Diwan of the Royal Court, Chairman of the Civil Service Council, today issued a decision declaring the blessed Eid al-Adha 1436 Hijra leave for the employees of the ministries, public authorities and other departments of the state's administrative apparatus will start from Wednesday the 23rd of September 2015 till Saturday the 26th of September 2015. Work will be resumed on Sunday the 27th of September 2015. His Excellency Sheikh Abdullah bin Nasser al-Bakri, Minister of Manpower, issued a ministerial decision stating that Al-Adha leave for the private sector companies and establishments will be from Wednesday the 23rd of September 2015 till Saturday the 26th of September 2015. Work will be resumed on Sunday the 27th of September 2015. The decision allowed employers and employees to agree on work arrangements to compensate this holiday if necessity arises. All employees at the public and private sectors extended their greetings to His Majesty Sultan Qaboos on this blessed occasion, praying to Almighty to protect His Majesty, grant him good health, happiness, long life, and for the return of these and similar occasions on His Majesty, the Omani people, and all Muslims with welfare and blessings. With more than 10 million Omani Rials, the tender board awarded the water distribution network expansion projects in the Wilaya of Boshar in the Governorate of Muscat. The board also awarded during its 60th meeting the additional works to appoint a consultant to review and prepare possible claims on consultant contract for Muscat International Airport, Salalah Airport and Regional Airports project with 400,000 Rials. Among the project agreed on by the board are also the additional works for linking aerial connection devices with weather forecast devices through land and satellites. The board also approved the additional works for water distribution networks expansion projects in the Wilaya of Sur in the Governorate of South Sharqiya and in the Wilaya of Amirat in the Governorate of Muscat with around 700,000 Rials. The meeting was chaired by His Excellency Dr. Rashid Al-Huraibi, Chairman of the Tender Board. The Kafa'at or Competences program was launched in Muscat under the auspices of His Excellency Sheikh Khalid bin Umar bin Saeed Al Marhoon, Minister of Civil Service and Chairman of the Board of Directors of the Institute of Public Administration, IPA. The 6-month-long program includes theoretical parts and field visits to a number of leading institutions to enrich the knowledge of the 45 directors who took part in the program. It came within the keenness of the government to develop human resources and enhance public and private partnerships. The program has been designed as per world-class standards to serve as a platform for conversion towards smart government. The launching ceremony also included a visual presentation on the importance of this program. Still to come in our news bulletin. Private sector institutions continue to establish service projects for the citizens. Welcome back to the news from the Sultanate of Oman television. Omani Hajj or Pilgrimage Mission continues its efforts to serve Omani pilgrims heading to sacred lands in Saudi Arabia. The mission provides iftar religious counseling and administrative services, as well as supervising on Hajj campaigns and medical services, in addition to media and cultural aspects. Omani Hajj Mission, while in Al-Madinah, Al-Munawwara and Mecca, will look after Omani and other pilgrims in addition to providing its services in other holy sites during the Hajj season. The Ministry of Manpower organized a seminar on tripartite social dialogue at the Tourism College. The seminar is organized to highlight the importance of social dialogue and its role in decision-making and overcoming the economic crisis to achieve social dialogue based on approved principles and laws and envisaged benefits of the tripartite social dialogue. It came in response to the changes and developments in the labor market and the urgent need to reformulation and regulation of labor relations, which is one of the basic rules in organization and stability of the labor market. The Royal Navy of Oman held a ceremony for the graduation of basic military training corps. During the ceremony, the graduates presented a military parade of slow march and performed some military skills accompanied by music of the Royal Navy of Oman. Then they chanted RNO's Nasheed and allegiance call and cheered thrice the name of His Majesty the Sultan, Supreme Commander of the Armed Forces. The graduation ceremony was presided over by Major General Ghassan bin Hilal Al-Alawi, Assistant Head of Internal Security System for Operations. Consumer Protection Directorate in the Governorate of Dhofar succeeded in seizing a number of expatriate manpower who were washing clothes in water pools in violation of health and safety standards. They changed their form to a place for laundry without taking into account health conditions and without obtaining necessary legal licenses. The Public Authority for Consumer Protection states the need to monitor expatriate manpower practices in providing services to consumers and calls upon them to give priority to their social responsibility in protecting public health and environment. Within the framework of the integrated role of private sector in serving community, private sector institutions continue establishing services projects for the citizens. At a cost of more than 5 million Omani Riyals, the projects, which will be established in the Wilaya of Sohar and Liwa, are expected to be finished between the period of 2016-2017. Building these projects came within the social responsibility of Sohar Aluminium Company, Orpic and Jusur Institution. And now for the general weather forecast. Clear skies will prevail over the Sultanate with chances of cloud accumulation, along with rainfall over the Hajar Mountains and the nearby areas, as well as chances of low clouds and fog over the coastal areas of the Arabian Sea. Winds will be easterly to northeasterly light to moderate along the coast of Sea of Oman, while it will be southerly to southeasterly light to moderate along the rest of the Sultanate. Seas along the coast of Arabian Sea will be moderate with a maximum wave height of 2 meters, and for the rest of coast it will be slight with the maximum wave height of 1.25 meters. You're watching the Sultanate of Oman television. And now, before we end tonight's bulletin, here are the main points once again. His Excellency, the Minister responsible for Foreign Affairs, discussed the latest developments in the region with the United Nations envoy to Syria. Decisions are issued to determine Eid al-Adha leave for public and private sectors. And the tender board awards a host of development projects worth more than 10 million Omani riyals. And with that, we come to the end of tonight's news bulletin. All of us here in the newsroom and studios is good night.